I'm leaving. Good morning. Good morning. Let's say good morning to Robert. That wasn't me. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so up here, presentation mode spring. Who wants to take a guess as to what I am trying to send the signal for you bright superstar agents?
Cell phone discount rates.
This is your circus and that is your monkey.
Yes. Alex, go back in the height. Anybody else? Anybody smart want to take a stab at that?
Everybody else is slowing down. We need to keep ramping it up. Yeah.
That's part of it.
Get ready for closings for the first of the year.
Get ready for closings for the first year. What has happened over the last couple of months? I mean, I have an awesome, we've had a great 2.5 year run. And at the beginning of this last year, we had a lot of you that were out there knocking on doors, doing things that were uncomfortable, sending out postcards. All of a sudden, the postcards slip off, door knocking slips off. What happened? All of a sudden, your business took off from the actions that were happening, and then all of a sudden you get relaxed from the business you were having, and then what happens? Everything else slows down. So, in talking to other brokers across the country, everybody's kind of seeing this same cycle going on, and everybody's seeing a slow off in traffic. Are y'all seeing a slow off? Let me keep on this. I was talking to somebody the other day that had barely 5 sales for the whole year, and they said, "Oh, my listings are selling." I said, "When was the last time you had a listing?" Well, I mean, I'm talking recently. When? And it was lower price listings, and there were very few. So I said, well, really what we're seeing across the board is from 300s and up specifically, the traffic has dropped off significantly. And if you haven't seen that, then maybe you are pricing your homes right and you're in the right condition, because there are some that are selling the very first day. But what we're seeing across the board, I'm talking across the country, brokers are going, what is going on? We're going to talk about several different things, but I'm going to read to you a text that I was sharing with a guy that runs a large building company here. I'm not going to say the company's name, but I just wanted to see, hey, what they see, right? So I said, hey, how's your traffic and how are your sales? This is our text back and forth. So traffic quality is down, sales are way off for September, and I'm seeing resales sit. I'm guessing sales are off for you. I said traffic is way off, resales need price adjustments, open contracts and new listings are off. It's going to be an interesting winter. I said I'm fired up for it. He said, hoping it's short term, everyone I've talked to on the new side is off. I've noticed driving around, the resales are sitting. Weird. I expected August to be off, and it was better than expected. Same on this one, we'll talk about that. September is usually better, but it's way off. Now, I can go back to last year, and at this point in time, we had fewer agents, and we had a better pace than we've got right now today. Who in here had a lot of showings this weekend if you got listings? You had a lot of showings?
I had 2 that went under contract this week.
That's great. Were there some showings that happened this weekend?
They were, one was yes,
Okay.
one was, and the other one they had shown the week prior, but I took the price adjustment on both of them on Monday. One I got under contract on Monday, the other one I got under contract on Wednesday.
Say that a little louder.
I took price adjustments on both on Monday last week.
How long have they been on the market?
One's been on since July, and the other one's been on since the second week of August.
Okay.
But the first one was overpriced from the start, and I told her that when I took it.
That's okay. The key thing is 2 price adjustments on Monday, both homes under contract in 7 days. What's the only thing that changed? The condition of the homes changed?
No,
The only thing that changed was price, and all of a sudden those homes had traffic and they got contracts. Interesting. So it's kind of what this, the 3 to 6 month sprint is over, and I really want you guys to think about it from this perspective. Prices have gone up on the listing side. We've got charts and graphs in here that I hope that you'll take and share with your listings to show them. Here's what's happened before that has happened. From the pace of sales going up, and everybody hearing about their neighbor selling at a ridiculously high price, and they said, well, our home's better than theirs, because everybody thinks their home is better than their neighbor's, or they got the best lawn in the best neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. So everybody's price kept going up, and that was okay. But then all of a sudden, people's perspectives went here, and list prices are way up here. And all of a sudden, we're seeing a slow off. And I've heard people say, well, the demand is gone. The demand's not gone. Our pricing is out of whack. That's all that it is.
The demand's not gone if they're still selling.
Demand's
not gone if we've still got closings.
Well, the demand would be more if every single home out there had a 5 to 10% price rise. So the demand is there. Lending is there. Jeff, can people get loans today?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they can.
They can.
How easy is it for people to get loans? Is it easier today than it was a year ago?
It is. There's more programs becoming available.
Back in 2008, 2009, nobody could get a loan. Now everybody can get a loan, but traffic is slowed off. Listings for the month are off. Listings taken off significantly. Why? My contention is this: people aren't excited about what they see online for the price, so they don't want to put their home on the market, so therefore they sit. Think about it. It's all psychological when I think about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about that, but this is 3 to 6 months sprint. I want you to get your head wrapped around that, because we're going into the fall. You just heard one of the guys that's running one of the largest building companies in Atlanta. And he's going, wow, oh my God, everybody I'm talking to in the new homes arena is saying the same thing. Traffic is way off, sales are way off. I've been saying it for the last month in here. What you're gonna start seeing is builders are gonna get hypersensitive. They're already talking, going, oh my God, what the hell's going on?
So do you think they're gonna start making price adjustments? Because their prices.
What would you do?
The risk.
Yeah.
You've got all this dirt sitting there that you now own. You bought the dirt because of all the great things that were going on. You didn't see anything in the foresight. You didn't see anything in the near future that showed that, hey, maybe sales might start to slide off. And the prices, guess what? They kept going up, 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 up. Because the land they were buying over the last year to 2 years had gone way up. And if it was in a good school district, they said, what the hell, we can go ahead and sell it. Anything selling in the school district. And there's one little kink in that armor can make a big, big difference. And that's what we're going to start seeing moving forward. There's a neighborhood on the Lynn Road in South Forsyth. It's started off, same, mid-60s. By the time it opened up, 520s is the number. I talked to the agent the other day. They said, we had no traffic hardly at all over the last couple weeks. They opened up. They thought that they'd have a bunch of sales going on. They've only had 10 between the two builders. They got a lot of inventory going up from the 5s and up. What do you think that builder's gonna be doing? Free basements, buyer interest rates. They start throwing out a whole bunch of stuff to move their product because they have to. And by the way, they've been developing that for about 2 years now. So the market changed from when they originally purchased that land. It's very interesting. So, those are not doom and gloom. What I want you guys is to see the opportunities that are going to be in the business. And if you look forward, like this month, we've got 145 closings on the book. That is phenomenal. If you go by closing, you sit there and go, man, the market is killing it. But you got to pay attention to variables that show what the future closings are going to be. And you wrap your head around it and you go, what do you got to be doing right now today to make sure that the next 3 to 6 months you've got closings happening? You're not looking to get out of the business, but you're looking at going, wow. I'm glad I focused on the business over the last couple of months because I am earning a lot of money right now. Okay? So, before we get into all that stuff, simply organized. Heather Rogers, get on up here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, I feel like I'm in front of a class of students. Good job. I'm Heather Rogers, and I am your problem solver. Have you ever gone into a listing appointment and felt like you were in a live episode of the TV show Hoarders?
Yes.
I am your controller of chaos. Have you ever shied away from telling your seller that they need to hide their crazy clown collection? Or frogs, or roosters, or fill in the blank. I am your deliverer of difficult news. Do your clients look at the laundry list of items that you've given them in order to get their house ready and laugh in your face? I am your destroyer of discombobulation. I am a professional organizer, and that's what I do. I am your problem solver. So I resell stuff. I project manage. I pack and unpack. I'm an impact stager. I am a resource. I am a decluttering expert, and I am an unforgettable seller's gift during a time in the most stressful part of their life when they're moving. Give me as your seller's gift, and I will go in and pack for them, or unpack for them, or stage for them, and help them de-stress. So I'm Heather Rogers. I own Simply Organized, and I have a little testimonial in the crowd.
We used Heather at a property that Tommy has listed, and she did an estate sale for us on Friday and Saturday, and it was phenomenal. And this was an older gentleman that we were having a hard time kind of getting moving, and she kind of took the heat off of us and dealt with him, and it was great. And we actually used the opportunity during the estate sale. We have a property to the right of that and behind us. We have 3 listings right together. So we used it as kind of an open house. So we had our flyers there, and we talked to potential buyers, and we got probably 10 solid leads off of that.
And we put the MLS number on all the estate sale ads as well. The house is also for sale, kind of a thing. So I would love for you to pull out your phones and put my name and number into them under the heading of whatever is going to make you remember me, whether it's problem solver, helper, resource, probably not organizer, because nobody ever knows what that is. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Heather, what's a typical rate?
$60 an hour with a minimum of 3 hours for your clients. You do get a real estate agent discount. Any other questions? Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, she got breakfast, so let's give her a little bit. She organized that breakfast. didn't she?
I did, I cooked it
That
and
just shows
left
you
it.
one example of what she can do for you.
I did, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for not.
Mr. Zuloff,
That's right.
Mr. Germany.
I swore, you didn't know. It's okay,
Oh, sorry.
it's allowed.
Before you get into your stuff, I was in here yesterday, we had about 10 agents in here, and I said, what would have happened last week had the feds raised the prime 0.25%? Who wants to take a stab at that? Yes.
I think people would start locking in because they get worried they're gonna keep on raising, because once they start, they do keep on raising. So they wanna lock in, go ahead and buy that house even if they're not at the lower rate.
So what would raising the prime 0.25% mean to your mortgage rate?
Go on.
Go up.
Who says it would go up? Who says it would go down? And there's a lot of you that are going, I'm not gonna answer. You're gonna answer. I want to hear what you got to say.
It has to go up.
Raise your hand high and proud if you say it would go up.
Now-
Raise your hand high and proud if you say it would go down. What would it do,
Just
Judge?
Donald Trump.
He's blowing the fence, come on.
They're gonna go up, the bond market's gonna sell off, and when the bond market sells off, rates go up. So,
But
relationship.
what would it go up?
Depends on how much the bond market sells off, it's not gonna be an exact quarter. Could be an eighth of a point, could be 3/8 of a point. Depends on what the investor's appetite is for the bonds at that point. They're gonna be real nervous once it starts selling. It's gonna go pretty quick. We could lose, 20 basis points on the 10-year note in a matter of hours. So I saw in November of 2012, I think we lost on the Fannie Mae mortgage-backed security coupon, we lost 200 basis points in one day. The rate went up 0.5 point one day in a matter of hours. I'm like sitting there ready to lock one. And it's like, oh, there it goes again. There it goes again. So, they can change in a matter of hours. So it just depends.
But you really don't know what is or is not gonna happen until they do that, because it all goes to, it doesn't mean for sure that they're gonna go up, it probably will, based off what the investor is gonna change and rearrange their money where it's sitting. But just because they raise the prime 0.25% does not mean that the mortgage rate is gonna be affected that same 0.25%. So I need you guys to fully understand that, because a lot of people are majorly misinformed out there on what the prime short-term rates versus mortgage rates long-term. So read up on that, understand what's going on. That's gonna be a very hot topic from here to the end of the year, because a lot of people are pushing them to go ahead and do it. Who can tell me why they're resisting to raise the prime 0.25%? Everybody, a month ago, after their meeting, everybody was predicting that they were going to raise on September 17th, and they decided not to. Why did they decide not to?
Because of overseas issues.
Because of global,
China.
because of global economy and what's going on in other countries. Nothing to do with what's necessarily going on here. When they look at the other countries, they go, okay, we need to safeguard our own interest here because of what's going on over there. That's why they backed off from it. And they don't have to wait till their next meeting. They could have a meeting, call an emergency meeting, and they could raise it tomorrow.
Elon said maybe October, that's what I just read, maybe October.
There's mixed reviews there. Some are saying that they might not touch it until January, till next year, but who knows right now? It's all speculation again.
I think the national economy is so teetering that nobody really knows.
But if you raise the interest rate, that shows a sign that they feel like the economy's secure. That's the only reason they would raise it. That puts out a big signal that we think the economy's good.
And let me ask you guys this, if it kind of stirs up that much of, I don't really know what is going on, do you think that your friends, your family, and other people don't know what the hell it really means? Do you think that might be an opportunity in this 3 to 6 month sprint of going, hey, we all know that they're talking about raising the prime, do you know what that's gonna do to the interest rates on mortgages and what that might affect your home values? You can use and leverage these things to open up doors of conversations and to find out if somebody thinking about selling and moving in the next year. If they are, it might be the best opportunity for them to go ahead and expedite that to get in the game right now, as opposed to waiting for those rates to go up. So when you see Fannie Mae and everybody's predicting rates to go up through 2016, the reason why is because they know at some point in time, they are going to raise the prime. And then the investors are going to stop holding their money over here, and they're going to start moving it over here, which is going to have an effect on the bond market, which affects what?
Interest rates.
Mortgages. Okay. Are your heads spinning yet?
Does real estate typically do well in an election year or no? Because I know lots of people get shaky and skitty in election years.
Maybe that's what we're seeing happen right now. Maybe that's a part of it.
They
What
watch
are we
the
going to
rates.
do as a country? And
The stock market has a lot to do with it too.
the uncertainty and what people's perception is of what's
All
going to
this stirring the pot with all the Republicans doing what they're doing. That's,
You have two
I really think that's part of the problem, is that the pot's being stirred right now by the Republicans. There's so many of them, they're fighting. You know, the Democrats are waiting back, and I think that's the reason why things have happened the way they have. Because everybody is unsure about what's going on in the United States.
So we can use it to our advantage, fear-based selling.
Really? That's what I was hearing over here.
Whatever.
Well, they've been talking about interest rates for a while now because they're
5-6 years.
they're artificially low,
Right.
really.
They are.
I mean, 7 is probably a normal rate. And what happens when you go from, 3.5, 4 now to 7, it triples your payment. So it limits your borrowing power and how much house you can buy. So
It's gonna bump a lot of people out.
it's gonna bump a lot of people out. I was talking to a friend of mine that's here now that's also involved in the California market. He said they're dead. He said they're just completely and utterly just stopped. And they're taking $50,000 and $70,000 price reduction to get somebody to do something.
Hey, it's here. It's here right now. I can tell you, I talked to a lot of agents this week and they said, what the hell happened? No showings. So, and it's all related to this, price adjustments. It's not, everything that comes from the west over here is coming with a flurry right now. But what did you say? They're having $50,000 to $70,000 price adjustments. Then what's gonna happen? Just like we saw and never happened here. Things start selling again.
Well, and what's interesting about that market, I've been dealing with this friend of mine for about 7 years, and what happens there takes about 18 months to get to here. It's more drastic there. They have less realtors and less inventory, and their prices, of course, their average price home is twice what ours is in this particular area. And they have a lot of REOs, and so they typically get 50 or 60 offers a day before anybody even walks through the property. He says, you get nothing. He said, the realtor is getting out of this.
We're not on an 18-month cycle on this one. Everybody across the country that's in markets like ours, I'm not talking about the Wolf, but the cities that have had great appreciation and good successful runs over the last couple of years, every broker's saying the same thing. It's crazy. Why? And it shifted like that.
This is really a good opportunity for us to take this information back to our sellers and let them know that your house needs to be in perfect condition. I mean, that's actually one of the reasons both these houses sold the way they did. I spent probably 4 weeks with the one that just went under contract, having somebody come out to make all these repairs that this house had, because they've been on the market for a year before I got it. Nothing. It was overpriced, but it was in awful condition. And so we spent $4,000 to get it in shape. And it went under in like 3 weeks. So.
Price. If you don't feel good about a home and you don't feel good about having a conversation with somebody, I'll be more than happy to go on an appointment with you. I do not care. But the key thing is you're going to have to figure out how do you get those prices adjusted. If you've had a listing on the market more than 30 days, and people are motivated to sell. That's a key thing. You got to evaluate and go, are these people worth my time, energy, and effort? Are they somewhere in the hemisphere? Where are they? If they're not motivated, chances are they're not going to get the price where you need it to get. Plain and simple. Sorry, mortgages.
That ugly word tread, October 3rd, it goes into effect. They're not gonna push it out this time. It's going into full effect. Any loan applications taken on Saturday, the 3rd of October, moving forward will be under the TRID clause, so have to have the settlement statement 3 business days before closing. So if Sunday's in there, it doesn't count. So, you know, we've been going through a lot of training on it right now and seeing how it's gonna look, the new closing disclosure statement, the CD they call it. You guys will get used to that here pretty soon, so.
What does TRID stand for?
Truth in Lending, RESPA, Integrated Disclosure.
Oh my God, that's awful.
That's why it's good.
Are you still gonna be able to send us information on closing costs and all of that on the front end? Because huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
we'll still
representing
have-
the buyer, so if I'm called and asked for a pre-qual letter, and in the past, I could get, you know, the information about, okay, what kind of loan is it? How much are the closing costs gonna be? That kind of thing. How much is the payment gonna be? Which is the focus that the buyers are looking at. Can we get that on the front end? Because, you know, I've gone to 2 classes now on this, and I've heard 2 different things. And I guess it just depends on who our lender is as to what kind of information we're gonna get, because a lot of this is about information. They put the skids on us getting information, which you gotta have it in writing now from your buyer that they're gonna authorize you to even receive a closing document.
Right.
And so what do we do? Because, you know, our way of business is being changed. We need to know what to ask for when we contact you. But, you know, in reality, we still want to give that pre-qual letter when we're providing an offer to the seller. So what do?
Well, it's not gonna change, the pre-qual letter, still the pre-qual letter.
Okay.
If you need any information on payment, closing costs, we can still send what's called an initial fee worksheet. I've sent some to you before, so that's not gonna change either, but when the good faith estimate goes out, it's no longer the good faith estimate that you're used to seeing. It looks just like the closing disclosure statement, almost identical. And they're gonna match up when you look at them side by side. All the boxes and everything's more, you know, transparent, so to speak. So everything's gonna match up, but we wouldn't really send you the initial, well, we'd send you the initial fee worksheet, but we wouldn't send you the closing disclosure statement, the new, I guess, good faith estimate that they have, so. But you can still get an initial fee worksheet. It's just a worksheet of each box. Here's the lender fees, here's the title fees, here's the escrows and the payment. Nice neat payment on the bottom with everything broken out. Here's your escrows. We can still get you the initial fee worksheet, so nothing's changed.
And by the way, the market's not being driven from TRID coming up in October. I heard somebody say, well, I think it's because TRID's coming up. The general public has no clue what that is or what effect that's gonna have, so it's not related to that.
So how many days are you projecting that we're gonna need to have in our contracts now to close?
Motion right out of my mouth.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna change things a whole lot more. Our stance is once we get a conditional loan approval, we're good enough at that point that we can send out at least to the attorneys that we'll be working with, we can send out something so that they can put together that CD, closing disclosure. So, I mean, it really depends, and a lot of this is gonna come down to how the lenders work with the agents, or the closing agents. So if the closing agents aren't doing their job to help us, then there may be some shifting around of who these lenders are gonna work with. There's probably gonna be an approved list of what attorneys they're gonna work with.
And that's gonna be my next question.
Would you say that for the first month or 2, while we start working through all of these kinks, that it would be a very safe bet to push your closing dates out from 30 to 45 days? Just
I
in
would,
case?
it'd be a good rule of thumb. I mean, there's situations where maybe you can't do it, where I don't think it's gonna be an issue from what I've gone through in the training. I don't see it a major issue with us, but to be safe, if it's one of those lenders like Wells Fargo, bigger bank, if it's a bigger bank, I would be a little bit, if you can't control the buyer and they say, we're definitely gonna use Wells Fargo, then I would be conservative, you know? Just saying, you know, we hired an extra closer in our office just for this. We've ramped up our processing and underwriting. And by the way, Atlanta Agent Magazine just voted Fidelity Bank #1 this year. So, it's just gonna take some adjustment time here to get the kinks worked out. I'm sure there's gonna be some that are missed. It's inevitable, but if something changes on the closing disclosure statement, it's out of tolerance, then, you know, you have to push the closing date out to 3 days. So
the 3-day push is only for loan programs or interest rate, correct?
If it kills off by more than an eighth of a point, or they switch like from an arm to, or a fixed to an arm, things like that, could push it out, or a loan program, FHA to VA, those are gonna change things.
We'll no longer be sitting waiting for funding, that's the good news.
Yes, sir.
Right. Our stance is 6 days, 6 business days, we're gonna send the CD out to the borrower, so. And the bank's gonna take control over that. I'm going over here. So the attorney won't be sending the disclosure statement, because we're on the hook for it. If we don't get it out in time, we get fined, not the attorney, so.
All right, what are some of the things that you guys can be doing for the next 3 to 6 months? Swana, come on up here real quick. While Swana's talking, I'm gonna go out. I want everybody to be passing their cards up here to Mr. Bullis. Raise your hand, Mr. Bullis. Pass your cards right over here. I'm going out to my car to get something that I saw at the Realtor Conference in Savannah that I thought was pretty cool. It is a sign bag. It'll hold 2 signs so that you don't have to worry about dating your car up and stuff, loading signs and stuff, so.
You mean you don't have to leave mud on the inside when you sneak down when you've got a.
That's right, it plopped right down on the lawn, you put the sign, 2 signs in there, it's pretty cool. Give that away to a lucky winner right up here, so. Swallow. They're right over there, you can go get one. Alex, did you take advantage of it?
I got a 30-minute one, it was awesome.
Was it?
$20. It was like,
You won it though, right? $20.
no, I was walking by.
They're gonna charge Alex 40 next time.
Yes, and we put it together, it was a day thing. Early afternoon.
Let's get your attention real quick. Alex, I'm gonna use zip on you. I'm certainly installed zip now. So, one of the things that SWAT brings to the table is that she has done a good job of converting leads online. She's working with us and helping you guys, and so she wanted to kind of give some examples of things that over the next 3 to 6 months, as things change, what can you be doing with online leads? And she wanted to talk for just a couple minutes, and there's some relevant stuff in here, so.
Great.
I'm gonna go ahead and bag it.
Well, again, good morning, and thank you for your time. I would like to share with you something really quick. I started it last year, January 6th. I joined the Century 21, and I was asked to do some prospecting, which I didn't know what that is. Even though that I was a whole year in the real estate business with a younger company. So I was told that I need to do door knocking, cold calls, postcards. So I've done all of that for about 3 months. So I reached out to Terry and asked him if I can get some help, if I can receive some leads. Well, Terry in turn asked me this: what is it that you do day by day to grow your business? Because he said, we honor those that they honor their business first. So, of course, with whatever I did, I shared with him, he believed that I deserved to receive the leads and work on them. Well, my first lead was only a price range 100, 150,000, and it was inaccurate. So I was kind of a little skeptical. My God, with $110,000 with after everybody got paid, what is it that I'm going to be taking home? But I've done it anyway. So that lead turned out to be 2 additional contracts a month ago. I listed the same home that I sold last year, and I got that client into a contract of $178,000 for new home construction. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is it's up to you how you're going to treat your clients, how you're going to follow up with them, and kind of keep in touch with them from time to time. And I would like to ask you if you could help me to define the lead. What is it, the lead that you believe? The name of lead, what is that? Is anybody?
I don't understand what you're asking. What do you ask?
Well, I would like to say the lead is just a name and a number. And it's up to you to turn that lead into a client, potentially into a contract. And I do like to say, I got the rule that I called 333. Once you receive the lead is word of mouth. And the best result that you can get if you reach out to them in the first hour. If they don't respond, call them 3 times a day 3 different times, morning, noon, and evening for 3 days. And if they don't respond, next. It's just a numbers game. If they do respond in the time frame is between 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12, set them aside as a drip campaign and follow up with them. They will buy or sell. I had those that they were 8 months old or a year. They turned out to be a contract. So I'd like to appreciate all of you to listening to this, and I don't know how much you're gonna take home from what I just shared with you. But I would like to say the last thing. I talked to Terry, and I would like to join you for prospecting, calling. Actually, calling nights was something that I enjoyed the most. And I don't know how much you will believe me, but I miss prospecting. So I would like to join you first week of the month, every month. We'll start with 1 week a month. And if you decide that you wanted to add another week, I'll be more than happy to do so. But this is the time of the year when we need to start calling, prospecting, and building our business pipeline to start turning into a contract starting January or even sooner. So it would be the Thursday every month, the first week of the month. And I would like to say between 5 and 6:30 or 7. You can call your sphere of influence, past clients, expires, for spellbounders,
Follow up on online leads.
or that too. So I'll be more than happy to join you and start calling them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like that 333 because a lot of people I've seen, heard, talked to that you call once, they don't call you back. They go, you forget, you wrote it down on a piece of paper, you didn't log it in, you forget how to get in the lead router. Sure, I watched it. So 333, 3 times a day, morning, noon, night. 3 times. If they haven't responded by then, you're probably going to make a test in their mind. Don't worry about it for a while. Put them in your book. Go on to something else. Here is the bag.
The bag. Do our signs fit in the bag?
Yes, they do.
Sweet.
It's got a nice little handle on it. How professional will you look walking up to this? I'm more than just an agent. I am an organizer.
I'm a bag.
You can have that. You come and put your signs in your bag.
She could be
You
down.
can be the organizer of this fine bag. So,
3 hour minimum.
Jeff, why don't you reach into the cards here? Oh, and by the way, if you think that this is cool, these are like $26. If you don't want to bang your card, it is pretty cool because, the metal signs will bang your plastic, leather, all that stuff up. Not anymore.
So
Old
cards.
signs. Here are the cards of the people. This is the sign company actually invented this. So it's kind of cool. So if you want their card, it's right here.
We're getting rid of
Who's the lucky winner? Go ahead and
Jeff,
shuffle.
I have been shuffling these for about the past 5 minutes, seriously. Do you want to shuffle them again? You can.
Jim's on top.
Jim will hand it to you. Don't look. I'm not going to label this. I'm going to put it to the back side too.
Jim
Put it to
knows.
the back side. Put it to the back side.
Me?
On Jim's card.
Okay, Lauren's not gonna fit it back in the bag thing.
I saw it rolling around and I said, shit.
So 3 to 6 month sprint, what can you do in leveraging the prime mortgage or prime and mortgage rates? What are they gonna be doing? What does it mean? Leverage that in the conversation for people. If they're gonna be moving the next year, get them in the game today, because you're gonna have great opportunities in the next 3 to 6 months also. So during this time, you need to reach out to family, friends, whoever, to find out are they interested in selling and buying in the next year. If they are, tell them why now might be the best time. Why would now be the best time to get their home on the market? When you hear a slowdown, when you hear all that stuff, why?
Low inventory.
Inventory's lower, but if you price it right and get aggressive with it now, you're gonna lock in your interest rate long term. And you're gonna have somebody that gets hypersensitive about getting their home sold in the next 3 to 6 months, because we're in the dull months. Builders and people are gonna be anxious, they're gonna lower price. If they're prepped and in the game, they can jump on that versus sitting there going, oh, if I'd have known. Get them in the game now, because you're gonna have price reductions happen. Trust me, that's how you get somebody in the game. Easter Seal 5K walk run, October 17th. Last week, we had Page Road won $170 in the 50/50. After this meeting, every meeting that we have from here to October 17th and ongoing, we're gonna have 50/50 or a raffle that we can sell the TV or somebody win a TV and stuff to raise money towards Easter seals. If you want to contribute and help me on the team for the 5K, anybody can do it. We're going to be meeting at 11 o'clock right after this meeting here, and we're going to have a very brief meeting. And if you want to help out, if you can't walk or run, we'll carry you. But if you just want to participate and you say, hey, I can't do the 17th, but I'd like to help raise some money for it, we'll let you know how you can do that. So if you want to help out with that, October 17th is the date. We'll be meeting right after this. Look to the future from the numbers. So this is kind of what we've been talking about. We're used to looking at closings for the month to predict the future and what is going to happen. Right now, like I said, this month we got 145, 148 closings on the books if this month goes on. That'll be like our third or fourth best month this year. So if you just look at those and you say, hey man, this is going great, right? But if you start going, well, what really makes a difference for future sales? It is traffic that matters first, and that has changed dramatically. Listings taken per month. This is the first dip we have seen all year. This month is driven now. We've been averaging about 130 new listings a month. This month right now, 3/4 into the month, we're at 63. Now if it was the 14th or 15th of the month, okay, we'll see what it ends up. It's going to be off what you typically predict that during this time of year, but that's a pretty big adjustment right there. Open contracts. Can you tell me what an open contract is for a given month? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you.
Not closed.
No, that is any contract that's written and open during this month. Even if it terminates, we count that as an open contract, okay? So that means that's going to be your future sales are driven by the number of contracts written this month. Does that make sense? So it's not what you got pending. So open contracts for the month. We've been averaging a good amount. It's off a good bit, so we're at 61 right now for the month. That's off. We're probably going to end up around 85, 90, which is about where we were last year. We got about 25 more agents. That's a pretty decent little adjustment there. It comes down to two variables, seller's motivation and price, period. There's nothing else that matters in that. Now you can say condition, but price can overcome condition. But you can change the condition, you can change the price, but it also relates back to what's the seller's motivation. Are they motivated to sell? If you've got listings that haven't sold, go find out are your sellers motivated. If they are, you have a serious talk about why they need to drop the price or change the condition. And if they're not, then you got a choice of going, do I continue on with my business practices because this might be wasting my time? I could focus on other variables that are going to produce me money. You got to evaluate those things. The time is now to have the tough talks, either invest to change the condition, meet expectations of buyer, or lower the price, period. And by the way, if you're not getting any traffic to a home, what does that mean? Do you change the condition or the price? Price, no question. If you're getting showings, but you're not having a closing or an offer, what does that mean?
Price.
Get the condition. Yeah, look at your photos on them. Before, by the way, let me tell you this, before you have a price talk with a seller, go look at your side of the street and make sure it's as clean as possible. Right? Go to FMLS, go to MLS, go to Realtor.com, go to Zillow and see how the consumer sees it, because you can go open up your mouth and they can go, well, our pictures look terrible online. And then you go check that and you go, they kind of do. So go clean it up. And then when you go have that conversation, you go, hey, I went and checked out your listing on all the sites. And I can say it can't look any better than what it does right now. Now we got to talk about the other thing. Market, what's going on in your price, period. But if you find, hey, I'm going to tell you this, I believe this 100%. When you are listing a home, you need to line up the photos according to the way the buyers look. If you're a buyer and you're looking online and the home does not excite you in the first 5 photos, how compelled are you to go to the other 20? Not likely. So you stack those first 5 photos in the highest, most emotional pictures that are going to get somebody to get excited to see the rest of the home. Let's see if you can put bathrooms in the first 5 photos. Hallways, something that's not excitable. Put the 5 largest impact photos, the very first 5 photos that you see. Yes.
Terry, just to share something with everybody in the room, my daughter's in marketing for a crowdfunding company that's a startup company, and she does a lot of social media. She said, Mom, if you don't capture them in the first 7 seconds When they're sitting in front of the computer, you've lost them forever. So you've got 7 seconds to get that person who's sitting in front of the computer on the internet. And after 7 seconds, you've lost them. So that's not a lot of time.
Nope. So first 5 photos are most impactful. If you go to them and say, hey, I adjusted your photos. I've done this, I've done that. You're showing them, I'm taking care of my side. The only other variable we can talk about now is what are you willing to do to get your home sold? But right now, what we're seeing is what we're doing isn't working. So you've got 2 variables you control as a seller, price and condition. Which one are you willing to focus on? Is there another housing bubble? This is what you're going to start hearing about. You're going to start having builders go, oh my God, what's going on? They're going to be in uncomfortable spots. Imagine if you had millions of dollars sitting out there, hard money on the line. Several homes built that are sitting there eating a hole in your pocket each and every month. And all of a sudden you hear about all these slowdowns. I just read you the text from the builder that said, I'm talking to everybody in new homes and they're all saying the same stuff. What are you going to start feeling? Pressure. You're going to have the memories of 2007, 2008. Everything's going to be drawn back. What are they going to do? Incentive. Drop the price. Why? Because they're not emotional, they're business. I've got to get this off my plate or I'm not going to be sitting here in a year. You need to start treating it like that. I don't think we're in another bubble, by the way. I do think our prices have got, our asking prices have gotten out of whack. That's all that it is. So we're not going to see a value correction. I'm going to show you a slide in here that you're going to see exactly what's going on. And it's crazy. And by the way, in this area, you take away all of the REO stuff that was in there. Across the country, we're down to 7% of the market that's selling is REO properties and stuff like that. 7%. It's the lowest it's been, which means 93% is retail sellers. What are they looking for? Higher price. Okay? So, home price surveys. Let me see if y'all remember this. Bears or bulls? What's the difference and why do they have a bear and a bull as a signal or a symbol?
Good market and bad market.
Which is good, which is bad? What's the bear?
Bad.
Why?
Strikes down.
Strikes down. Bull goes up, right? So if you're bullish on the market, that means you think it's going up. If you're bearish, you mean that you think it's going down. I always find that interesting. That's why they selected those symbols. Seriously. Bear swaps down, bull goes up.
Big bullish on
Bullets,
Yeah.
be bullish.
Look at this. 2014, hey, it was going good, and then all of a sudden we did dip down at the end of the year, right? Look what happened. This year it's gone up, up, up. Do you think that we are somewhere along the line here of going, there's June, July. June is when we start seeing a drop off in the traffic. But you had 2 to 3 months of the next sales that were going to be going on. So watch what happens here. So I find this fascinating. In June, closings, man, these are home sales. These are closings. We're all going, hallelujah. Yet right here in June, I'm telling you, middle of June, we saw the traffic start to slow off. And we said, yes, this is Freddie Mac right here, by Freddie Mac. So, Robert and I were talking in the middle, towards the end of June, going, wow, have you felt the slow off in traffic? And you could feel it. You could feel the energy starting to shift. And then all of a sudden, we continued on with good sales numbers, but the traffic kept eroding month after month after month. And at first we said, well, July 4th happens on a Saturday, therefore we believe that there was a 2 to 3 week span in June, July that we had a slow off because more people went on vacations at the first half of it, but you had a 2 week span of vacations versus 1 week span. Does that make sense? We tried to rationalize things out. Then all of a sudden, school's coming up early August. We said, well, it's school. Well, it's only gotten more drop off as time has gone on. So at some point in time, you go, it is none of those. There was something to do with it. But the reality is we're seeing something happen. But if you only go by these sales, you don't realize where your opportunities are. Many homeowners around the country are seeing national headlines about home value increases, and they still are. And they're optimistic about their equity increasing, while some areas are seeing the same level of home appreciation or even more. There are also some areas that are having slower home value, blah, 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 blah. A slowing home value increases adds to the misunderstanding of local home values. Appraisers are viewing the housing industry every day. This is one I want you to pay attention to here. Appraisers are viewing the housing industry every day. They know when home values growth may be slowing. Homeowners may think values are still skyrocketing, when they have instead returned to a more healthy appreciation in their area. I think this paragraph right now, right here, is exactly where we are right now today. Now watch this. This goes back to July's perception. Now think about this. This appraiser home value opinions compared to homeowner estimates. Which do you think would be more relevant of what really is going on with the home values? An appraiser or a homeowner? So for a long time last year, we were running along and the appraisers were coming out higher, the homes were selling at a, how's this work? So the appraisers were coming out higher than the sales prices were. And then all of a sudden the homeowners kept going, oh, well, my neighbor sold for that much more. And all of a sudden we had these appraisal discrepancies start to happen. And then the slower. What do you think happened in August? So right now we've seen 0.13, 0.4, 0.69, 0.15, 1.5, 1.4. Do you think it leveled off? Do you think it went down towards the positive side, or do you think it went even further in the hole? Well, you know by way of what we're talking today, it went further in the hole. So let's look at August and see what it did. 2.33.
Wow.
What does that mean to you?
Means.
So appraisers home value. Now keep in mind, appraisers study the home values and market every day. We've just seen the charts that show the demand and the closings going through the roof. Expectations of people in their home values going through the roof. More. Then all of a sudden, we have back in March that value perspective where the appraisers are going, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. The values couldn't have gone up that much. So all of a sudden, exactly what we're talking about, to me, is what clearly is happening. And I want you to think about it. It's not a demand issue, it's a list price issue, is all that it is. Now, some people are gonna be in situations they absolutely can't sell. Builders are gonna be in situations that they can't drop their prices. They're gonna have to figure it out, one way or the other. They're going to. You need to figure it out, you need to educate people. This is a great chart right here to show listings. This is a great chart to show your friends and go, hey, there is opportunity in this for the next 3 to 6 months. I don't get scared of this stuff. I sit there and go, hell, it's time to go out there and kick ass. Because not many people right now are seeing it and going, let me see what this is going to mean in the next 3 to 6 months. And this is what you guys got to do. Now is the time to get out there and start door knocking again. Now is the time to send postcards. Now when others are going to get fearful and go, well, hell, it's the holidays. I'm going to go ahead and check out anyway. I made enough money this year. I'm just going to check out. It's easier to do that. Now's the time to get into it, but use these, leverage these to show people what they got to do. Homeowners who underestimate their home values not only underestimate their home equity, they also underestimate these 3 things. I want you to think about this. Opportunity, and this is what we're going to end with. 1, how large down payment could they make with their home equity? 2, their chances of qualifying for mortgages. And 3, the opportunities for selling their current homes and for buying different homes. There's so much misinformation going on out there right now. And if you talk to people, they go, I didn't know it was that easy to get a loan. I hear that a lot. I hear people going, I guess I gotta have 20+% to put down. It's still going on out there. Jeff, what's the lowest percentage down that somebody can put on a home? 0? 0, well, that's in 7 years. What loans are those? VA and USDA. Which USDA is very limited on where you can buy, right?
The 2 most popular, FHA is 3.5% down and 5% for conventional.
All I want you guys to know is that there's plenty of opportunity. Leverage this stuff to go have engaging conversations. And my position is this: if you're thinking about selling and buying another home in the next year, now is the best time to jump on board and catch the last leg of interest rates being where they are. It's a long-term decision. You're not looking to go buy your primary home to turn it in 6 months. You're looking at it going, I plan on being here for 5+ years. Leverage the interest rates, have the conversations, and show them why now might be the best time. Yes. By the way, I've got one more slide to show you. It's on Zestimates. I'm going to show you how to leverage that to gain control of the conversation and get somebody's home to give them their right. Yes.
What are our down payments on secondary homes? Are they still
10%.
10%?
10% of what?
10% down for second home,
Second home.
and it's 20% for investment.
What about, it's 20% for investment? I was talking to somebody that's in our company, I'm not gonna say their name, could be a girl or a guy. But
What do you think?
What do you think, Alex?
I'm gonna narrow it down for you. There's either girl or guy. Or like that Rob Lowe commercial. What was that? He says, I'm afraid of women, I'm afraid of guys, I can't remember what it was. That's can't remember what I was gonna say.
Have a conversation.
Estimates.
Get out there and have some damn conversation.
You were talking to somebody that may have been a guy or a girl, but you weren't sure.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Alex. Damn, you came to the table. So, this person has stockpiled a little bit of money. And they said, they said, I think I'm going to invest in a business. Now, my perception is this: if you're going to invest in a business, there's only one business to invest in. What is that?
You're
Well, what you're doing. And if you're going to invest in something, right now is a great opportunity to buy an investment property that you can rent. Why?
There's money on rent, it pays for itself.
Rates are low.
Rates are never going to be this low again. Once they start raising the prime, forget it. Don't forget it, but I mean, the point is, right now, if you're going to buy an investment property, you're going to have it as a rental property, you can make more money each month off at lower rates than you will if they go up a half, 1%. It's as simple as that. So if you're thinking about investing in something, invest in the business that you serve, which is real estate, and then go out there and show somebody, a friend, a neighbor, whoever, why they should do the same thing. Because guess what, if you go out there and do it, do you think someone else is going to follow? Absolutely.
My neighbor rented 2,500.
Yeah, 4-bedroom, 3-bath.
4-bedroom, 3-bath home in North Fulton for $2,500 a month, rented to that. That's pretty darn good.
Yes.
So, rental rates are high. If you want to invest in something, go invest in real estate. This estimate answer. Over the last couple weeks, I've been giving presentations on Zillow and what it means and what you should be doing. And I came up with this last week. And it was just one of those things where it hit me in the head. And I go, no one's ever really come up with a good answer for what this estimate is or what it means to somebody. And this is what my response was when they said, what can you say to help somebody? Now, one, do you guys know that in Zillow, there is a chart that shows exactly what the median error range of acceptability is? Who in here knows that? If you've been to one of my presentations, you know it. In this area, Forsyth County, 5.8% is the median error range, which means somebody gets his estimate, $300,000 estimate. Now, let's use approximate numbers because they won't go to 5.8%, let's use 6. If you got $300,000 estimate in Forsyth County, that means that Zillow, according to Zillow, it's fine that that home would be somewhere between 282,000 to 318,000. That's a pretty broad range, right? How good could your business be if you had to just price it in that range? So this is what I came up with. Somebody says, oh, well, my home, I got this estimate on the home, it's $300,000. You have a $300,000 estimate on your home? That is great. You understand what that means to the true value of your home? I like the way that said it. So, no. Zillow looks at your home from a 30,000 foot view, and in Forsyth County, their accepted median range of error is 5.8%. That means your value could be anywhere from approximately $282,000 to $318,000. Do you know how you can find out what the true value is? Give me 20 minutes to come out and view your home and provide you with a relevant CMA and market study. What day would work for you? How's that sound? You got to go in there and know in Zillow, there's a chart. All you got to do is go start punching the buttons. So this one I recommend to all of y'all. Go to Zillow. This is going to be your biggest gorilla in the room right now. It is going to be your thing that you got to overcome. And if you sit there and go, oh, they got bad data, stop whining, start owning the stuff, and go out there and improve your value as a realtor and own this little slice of the pie. If I came to your home and I said, oh, Zillow doesn't matter, those estimates don't matter, well, why not? Oh, then it's all bad information. That's not really, you're not gonna, if you turn around and act like a client or a consumer, you're not gonna really believe that. I'm just a nagging bitch agent, right? So if I come to you and say, I'm gonna tell you exactly why, that means nothing to do with the true value of what your home is. Here's the median range of acceptability of error. All of a sudden you're going, I did not know that, because they don't read the fine print. You have to read the fine print. Go find your county, go find your area, and find out what the median error range of acceptability is, and it's different for every county. 5.8% is about the best in the Atlanta pocket that I've seen. I was actually pretty impressed. And by the way, can you, let's say that you have an erroneous information on Zillow, can you change that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the sellers can, you can, if you're a listing agent, you gotta claim that listing, there's processes you can go through, they make it very easy to overcome this stuff. And I'll finish up with this, Zillow and Trulia have merged together. If you go build your profile on Zillow, it will merge over to Trulia now. So you don't have to go manage 2 different sites, you manage by one at Zillow. And then it will feed over into the others. They're making changes, it's going to be better and better and better. If you don't like it, you might as well accept it, because that's what the consumers are going to. Any questions from anybody? Monica, did you have something that you wanted to share?
Please remember to collect your fellow agent business cards at your luncheon and submit them to me, and we will enter them in for the October monthly money board drawing. And good luck on your luncheon.
So, if you have a luncheon, make sure that you bring more relevant to your, relevant to your luncheons, and bring the cards to Monica so that your people that took the time to go see the home and honor your business, that they get into the drawing for the monthly money board. Lisa, you had a question?
Can we get copies of this, please?
We will be sending it out to you. Remember, when I send you something from my Google Drive, you will have to open it from your You Need Results mail account. Okay? And I'll remind you on that. That's how it flows and goes, but I'll send all this out to you guys to use whatever you want from. Good meeting. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be opportunistic out there. Agents are going to check out. Builders are going to be hypersensitive. Get your friends in the game, and you're going to have opportunities happen as a result of it. Have a great day. And by the way, luncheons, we got how many of them, Tyra?
5.
5? 4?
Well, including the one in Snellville is 5.
Including one in Snellville.
5.
Big one in Snellville.
That's a good one.
So we've got 2 for Tuesday here.
That's 2.
That's good for your drawings, and come join us. We've got Value Plus over here by Mr. Garita. We've got Kimberly Yates doing a homemade pita chips and pesto pastry puffs. All wonderful delight. And we've got the Henniger's key lime pie.
Yes, a little bit key lime and the whipped cream this time, just to zest it up a little bit.
Is it Atkins friendly, Alex, or did you?
No, I didn't do that.
I appreciate that. So grab some flyers, don't participate, get your cards in there, and have a beautiful day.